Okay, everybody, hello and welcome to the Hangout where we're going to create a basic Facebook ad. The whole point of this Hangout is just to show you how to create a really basic Facebook ad. And I'll show you some suggestions for what not to do, as well as for what to do and how to prepare and what it is you should be looking for. It should take maybe 20 minutes. We can bang this out pretty fast. So let's get right to it. I'm going to go right to my screen. For a moment, I think when I shift to screen share, you're going to see some wild, wacky mirroring going on. If you do, that's fine. Don't worry about it. But what you should be seeing at this point, book page. So we're looking at my Facebook page for really simple social media. And one of the ways that you may already be familiar with advertising is just to take one of the posts that you've made on your page, and I'm assuming you have a Facebook page, and it's why you're interested in doing some Facebook advertising. You would take the page, one of the posts on your page, and let's take this one here where I'm talking about one of the WordPress plugins that I produced and I'm selling. I could make a post about it, and then I can boost this post. And I'm guessing that many of you have probably spent some money that way. It's a very easy way to advertise. You just click on Boost, choose some factors like what countries the people live in that you want to advertise to. Are you advertising to the people who like your page and their friends, or just you know, in general? So those are the choices. Here's what I'm going to tell you. This is the worst kind of advertising to pick. So don't boost posts unless you have to. I know it's an easy way to do it. You spent your money and you think you're getting good exposure for the money. But honestly, there's way better ways to do it, and they're not that hard. So even though this is easy, it's not effective, and here's why. There's two reasons why. One, it's more expensive to reach the same amount of people than as if you use one of the other advertising options in Facebook that we're going to go over right now. So it's more expensive than that. And it's also not as targeted. You can't drill down and select as much targeting as you can with the other options that we've got. So I just wanted to point that out. That is one way of advertising, but it's the most ineffective way to advertise, so don't do it if you can avoid it. Let's take a look, though, at some different ads that are in Facebook that you might already be familiar with, but there's some different kinds of ads that you can place. So what kind of ads can you place? If you look down the right-hand side of the column, you know, here it's on the middle actually, you've got what's called right column ads, and they're small rectangles with very small graphics and little headlines and a little bit of text. Those can be effective, but I'm going to recommend against them right now and work on a different kind of ad for you. But they do exist, and you can use them to advertise, and you've probably seen lots of ads. Maybe you've clicked on one, maybe not. What is, in terms of the psychology of them, is that it's very clear that they're advertising, because always the news feed was over here on the left, and the ads were over here on the right. So your brain knows, okay, that's an ad, this is my news feed. On the right is my ad, on the left is my news feed. And sometimes that works to the advertiser's advantage, sometimes it works against the advertiser's advantage. So if you are the advertiser, you want to be thinking about that. The other kind of ad is called an in-newsfeed ad. And these are the kind, here's one right here with this big graphic here for Credit Karma, that shows up in the newsfeed. So I might see pictures of my cousins or pictures of my nieces, but I also, and posts from them, but I'll also see ads. And these look a lot like posts. That's the kind of ad we want to focus on. So that's the kind we're going to build. And then there's another kind of ad, and that's a mobile ad. The same ad will show up in a mobile news feed. So if I'm using my phone and I'm on Facebook, I'll see some of the ads if you've told Facebook to put it into the mobile news feed. There are reasons why you would want to, and reasons sometimes why you don't want to have an ad going into the mobile news feed. For now, let's just concentrate on regular newsfeed ads and how to create them. So those are the three styles of ads, and there's two different ways inside Facebook to create these newsfeed ads. One of the ways is called the Power Editor. And the Power Editor, that's what we're looking at now, is really, really flexible and really, really feature rich. Allows you to do some incredible organization and targeting of your ads, but it's also a little bit more complex to work with. So we're not going to work with the Power Editor right now. So if you hear people talking about the Power Editor, though, you will know what it is. It's a power advertising editor. We're going to use the basic ad manager. I'll go to that in a second. But before I do, I want to point out the kind of structure that Facebook ads are built in. They're built in a hierarchy that goes like this: campaigns, advert sets, and adverts. Adverts meaning advertisings, right? Advertisements. So you've got a campaign, an overall campaign that you're mounting, and you can have multiple campaigns. And then inside each campaign, you've got sets of ads, and then, of course, the ads themselves inside those sets. So that's what a campaign, adverts, kind of like folders, advertising sets and advertisements inside those sets is the way it's set up. And there's good reasons for that. For instance, when you set up an ad campaign, you can have one ad campaign that's running 3 different ads, each with slight variations in the advertisement itself. So you set a budget for this campaign, but you have 3 different ads that are being traded off and shown to your target audience so that you can test which one works better than the other. And I'm going to show you an example of that with an ad that I particularly did. So that's one way, though, to create the ads, is called this Power Editor. We're not going to use that, though. We're going to use the regular Facebook Ad Manager. And there's a couple of ways to get right here in the URL. You could type ads. Oops, sorry. You could type ads.facebook.com. And if you did that and went to that site, it'll bring you to the beginnings of the Advertising Manager. But there's an even better way to do that, and that is if you're in your personal profile and you're in your news feed, just look up here in the upper right-hand side of the screen, and you'll see a link that says, let me get there, Create Advert. I'm picking it right there. If you click on Create Advert, and I think advert is like the English, the British way they say advertisement. We say advert, we say advertisement, an ad. They call it an advert. But anyway, when you click that, create an advert, it brings you right to this screen, which is a lot faster than going the other way. So I like to do that. So again, all you have to do is, when you're in your news feed, just up at the top, it says Create Advert, click on that. But before we create the ads, I want to look at a couple more ads, give you some recommendations and some suggestions. Here's an ad for Premier Broward, easy for you to say, Premier Broward County Homes. It's got a nice picture of a house, some text, and some more text below the picture, and then a like page button up here. Seems like a good ad, but it's a bad ad for a couple of reasons. The first reason is, in general, you don't want to be going for page likes with your ad. I know that sounds counterintuitive because a lot of people want to build up a lot of likes on their page. Why do you want to build up a lot of likes on your page? Usually the answer is so that people see what I'm posting. The more fans I have who have liked my page, the more stuff they'll see that I post. Unfortunately, Facebook has made it very, very hard for pages to show their information, or for the information by pages to be seen by people who like their pages. It's really weird. The regular numbers are about 1.5% now of your people that like your page are seeing anything you post. The high is like 3%. So basically nobody is seeing what you post. So you've got a nice Facebook page, probably a beautiful Facebook page, and you're posting all kinds of great stuff. Nobody is seeing it. And by nobody, I mean 1.5% of your fans. That's nobody. Maybe you have 100 fans. Maybe you have 1,000. 1% of that is nothing. And Facebook has done that intentionally because they're trying to improve the user's experience. Me being a user, I don't want to see all this stuff from pages, even though I've liked the pages. And there's another argument too, that they're sort of forcing people pages to advertise. Since the things are not being seen, then you're going to want to advertise to get your stuff seen. And there might be some truth to that, but the best reason to advertise is because you can target exactly who you want to reach. So instead of targeting for likes, you're going to target for something else, and you're going to target people that you want to take a particular action. Not liking your page, but following through on something. Maybe buying something from you, that would be a good idea, or getting some information from you, just learning more about you. If they like your page, they're not going to learn a ton about you. Watch this. I'm going to click here on like page, and nothing happens. That's the other reason this ad is not really a good ad. Unless I click on the picture, and there's real no indication that I should. Unless I click up here on the Premier Broward County Homes, which is only going to take me to their Facebook page, I'm not really learning anything more about them unless I take the time to scroll through their page, and I'm really not going to do that. So a more effective way, I'm going to close that out, a more effective way is, let's take a look at this page, this ad. It's another one that's asking for a like, and if I click on this picture, I will go somewhere, but there's really no indication that it could. But at least in the text, they've said, get your 2013 yearbook, save all your Facebook, yada, yada, yada. Click here and get 30% off. And there's a link. So there's an incentive. Click here and get 30% off. And there's a link. And when I click that link, it should take me to a place where I can go buy their stuff and get 30% off. It's opening up slowly, but yeah, here it comes. So create a book with your Facebook Live with Social Book. And there's a mark over here that says 30% off today. So although I'm not really, okay, it's coming up really slowly, that's all. I was going to say I'm not too keen on that landing page, as it's called, because it's kind of bland. There it is. Now it's filling in. Connection must be slow. Now we're doing this in real time, so it's like a roller coaster. You're getting to watch it happen. We're going to create an ad while you watch. So that was a better ad, right? It took me from here. It had a link, and that's really good. But it still has this like button. So what should I do? Do I click the like button? Do I click this link? Do I click the picture? You don't want to give too many choices to anybody. You want to tell them one thing to do. So for that reason, I'm not a real big fan of that particular ad. Here's another ad, though. Let's take a look at this one. Network Marketing 2.0 is the page it's coming from. And it says create an automatic downline builder account with a graphic that looks like a multi-level marketing or network marketing hierarchy. Little headline here, automatic download builder, downline builder. Then it says free video, how to stop stalking family, friends, and strangers on Facebook. Okay, yeah, with a little button that says sign up. Well, okay. I don't really want to sign up for anything yet. You know, I want to maybe learn more about them. Wouldn't it be better if there was a different button here that said maybe learn more? And in fact, that's the kind of ad we're going to do. We're going to do an ad that has a button that says learn more. So while this is a little better, there's no link here in the text, but it's got the sign up button. So there's really only one thing they're directing people to do with this ad, which is nice. Unfortunately, the thing they're asking people to do might scare off some people like me. I'm not ready to sign up. I just want to learn more about them. So for that reason, I don't really like that ad either. Now here's another ad from the page called Improving Internet Marketing. And it's got a little bit of text. And this is exactly the kind of ad that we're going to create, except with a different button. Make incredible videos, yada, yada. Here's a beautiful, nice, simple graphic, a headline, and a button that says download. Now, if I click that button, I'm not really going to download anything. I know that. Other people might be fooled to think, oh, if I click this, I'm going to download something. Well, in fact, you know, click here to get a 70% discount code is what the text says. Click here, 70% discount code, and yet the button says download. So conflicting information there. I'm not real clear. Let me click that button and see what happens. It should take me to, I'm assuming, a sales page where I'll get a 70% off coupon or something. Okay, so here's a sales page for this video maker. It's going to run a video. There it is. And a lot of information. So it's a nice long sales page where at the bottom I'm sure I'm going to be able to buy something for $39. Okay, so there it is. And I guess that's 70% off. Little bit of a disconnect there. Okay, here we go. A little bit of a disconnect in there, but a better ad nonetheless. And then let's take a look at one or two less. I'm going to scroll through my news feed here and see what we come up with in terms of ads. That's Roger Federer. I'm big into tennis. Many of you know my daughter plays tennis. And oddly enough, there's not too many. See, this is good. This is why you and me are going to stand out, because actually in my news feed right now, there's not that many ads showing up. And that's kind of a good thing. And also, not too many ads that are what I would call effective. So that's okay. I'm not seeing any, so I want to keep scrolling through. Let's go right to the type of ad that we're going to create, and I'll show you what that is, and I'll show you some variations and how that works. This is the ad. It's going to come from my, now I have many Facebook pages. You might have more than one. I've got one for my main business, really simple social media. So this ad is going to originate from this particular page, and it just has a little bit of text that says, sell mobile sites, get done for your tools. Well, actually, it's not going to say this. I'm going to show you why. But it's got a little bit of text. It's got a graphic, the woman holding the phone, for the Mobile Marketers Pro Toolkit. This is something that I sell to other mobile marketers. And a little headline that just says, done for you tools and PLR. So that's the ad. It's a very simple ad with a button down at the bottom that says learn more. So it asks a simple question, do you sell mobile sites? I like to ask questions in my ads because it makes the brain sort of engaged to want to answer the question. And then a nice graphic, very simple graphic with not a lot of text, and a learn more button so it's clear about what you're doing when you click that button. Now let me show you though a variation on this ad. Remember I said you can have a campaign that's got different ads inside it, right? And you set a budget for one campaign and run different ads. So I made a slight variation on this ad, and here it is, on the right-hand side. And on the right-hand side, everything's the same. It's still originating from the same page. Still got the same graphic and the same headline, done for you tools plus PLR, and the same button, learn more. But you can see here, let's see if I can highlight this for you. The text is a little bit different. Here instead it says, mobile is hot, but why aren't your customers hot for it? And again, I like questions. They will be, the assumption being they will be if they get this Mobile Marketers Pro Toolkit. Slight variation. The only thing that I changed was the text in that ad. But check this out. Look at the results. The ad on the right is getting 7 times more clicks when I started running both these ads targeted to the exact same audience. The ad on the right was getting 7 times more clicks than the ad on the left. And that's just because of a slight variation in the text of the ad. Now you could change the graphic in the ad. You could change the button, so maybe one time it says shop now, another time it says learn more. What you want to do is test. So you create a couple of different ads, variations on a theme, and run them at the same time. And so you can then gauge, because Facebook will tell you which ad is getting X amount of clicks, which ad is getting Y amount of clicks. And you can look at that and say, okay, well then I'll start putting my ad budget toward this ad instead of that ad. Especially if you're seeing results like this. 7 times greater is a big result. And that was clear. So, and how do you get to that ad manager? That's what we're going to do next. There's 2 ways to do it. One way is just to go ads.facebook.com. Did I say this already? Ads.facebook.com. Or go to the upper right-hand side of your newsfeed and click on Create Advert. So if we click on Create Advert, and that's what we're going to do, we get here to this, as soon as it comes up, we get here to the beginnings of the Facebook ad creator. And the first question it asks is, what kind of results do you want for your adverts? Now remember, I already said that page likes is not what we want to focus on. There may be a time when you want to focus on page likes, but my initial recommendation is not to do that. You want to start getting email addresses. If you've heard me talk at all before, you know that building your email list is so important. Far more important than getting likes to your page. So that's what we're going to try to do, is we're going to try to get email addresses, or we're going to try to get people to actually buy something first time out, which is a little harder. But you can do either one. In either case, that's going to require clicks to a website. So that's the change. You see there's several different choices you can make here when creating an ad. Page post engagements, which means people will either like or comment or share your particular post. That's useful too, but we're not going to go for that. Page likes, not going to go for that. Clicks to website, that's what we're going to have. Website conversions is a little more advanced. We definitely want to work on that, but that's for another hangout, another time. App installations, app engagement, event responses, and offer claims are all different kinds of ads results that we could go for also. We're going to stick with something basic, which is just clicks to websites. But before we do that, though, you want to have prepared already what website are they going to go to when they click. So in other words, this ad is going to be geared for people to click and go to a website. What page do you want them to go to? Normally, you might think automatically, well, I want them to go to my regular web page. I want them to go to my website. Well, not necessarily. Because remember, if you have an ad that says 30% off a particular book right now, when they click that ad, do you want them to go to the home page of your website? That sort of wouldn't make sense. It's kind of a disconnect. You want to have them go to a particular page for 30% off that particular book, if that's in fact what the ad said. So as you can see, here's my regular website. This is my home page of my website. Do I want to drive somebody from an ad to this page? No, I don't. In most cases, I don't. Now here's another page that I've created for the Mobile Marketers Pro Toolkit inside my site. All it is one selling page that tries to sell the benefits of why someone might want to buy, why a mobile marketer might want to buy this mobile toolkit. And at the bottom there's an actual buy button where they can click to buy. So that's far better than driving them to this page where they would have to search around to find that it's in products, right? They could go to products, but who's going to do that? Nobody's going to land on my website and then go to products and click on
Sorry, Dad.